What's up, world, and welcome back to another episode of Mix in Chat. I'm your boy Javi, here with my boy D-Lo.
Yo, what's up?
Now let's get into it. So D-Lo, you know how we like to do it. How you feeling?
Pretty good, man. You know, we been doing some overtime, so my mind's not used to it, so I'm a little tired.
Oh man,
but
you gonna get caught up and acclimated to it. It'll come to you.
yeah, because it's not like it's hard work. 'Cause I'm here, I'm at home, so
I feel that.
you know.
Well, I'm doing good too. I'm doing real good. I'm excited about this episode because this is a special episode.
Yeah.
We invited Omega Green and Cha Cha back to record a segment of their choosing and give everyone, the listeners, a little sample of what they're going to be getting all next season. Because what's going on, D-Lo?
With the rebranding, we're gonna have 2 new co-hosts. So
2 new co-hosts. We're gonna have 2 new hosts, just like us. I consider everybody hosts because everybody has their own topics.
yeah, you're right.
Like we just are a blended mix in chat family, and even that's gonna change. Even the name's gonna change, y'all. So, let's dive right into it. First, we got Cha Cha in his segment on sports.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey everybody, we're back. So I want to take a moment to discuss the new inaugural season of the college football playoffs. I'm not going to go a whole lot into it. I just kind of want to talk about the 12 teams that actually made the cut and their seedings. So we know that the number 1 seed is Oregon. The number 2 seed is Georgia, the Georgia Bulldogs. The number 3 seed is Boise State. And the number 4 seed is Arizona State. And so coming up this week, we have Clemson actually playing Texas first. What do you feel about that? Texas?
I know. I still got a sore spot for Clemson. Like they gave us our loss, but I will talk about that. But no, I'm actually surprised that. What did you say? Who's say number 1?
The number 1 seed is Oregon. Yeah, they're undefeated.
When they come out of nowhere,
they're undefeated.
That's crazy.
They didn't take any L's this year, and then plus the conference that they played in. And see, Georgia, the 2 seed, they have a loss.
Yeah,
they have a loss. If not 2, I'm not for certain how many losses they have, but I know they for sure have 1. But then you have Ohio State and Tennessee.
Hey, that's gonna be
Ohio
a good
State.
game.
So Clemson is a 12 seed. And Texas is a 5 seed. They dropped because they lost in their conference title game to Georgia. So Georgia leapfrogged them.
Yeah.
But then Ohio State and Tennessee, they're 8 and 9. And Oregon plays the winner of that game.
So I have a question. When does college basketball start?
College basketball started. It's already started.
Yeah. No, because you saying this person's undefeated. Are they a lot of games in already?
They're 9 games in right now in college basketball.
About 10. UK's 9 and 1.
Okay. They're 8 and 1.
8 and 1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about 9 games in. So
okay.
There's some teams they're about at 10 games right now.
And they're already starting tournaments?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, this is college football.
This is football.
Oh, that's football.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
And that's why I was saying. So let me backtrack. So this is the inaugural season of a 12-team playoff. It used to be 4.
Okay.
It used to be 4. It was 4 for a few years, but there were a lot of teams that were getting slighted. So they decided to come up with a 12-team playoff. But the thing about this is, it's the first year. It's going to have to be tweaked because there's some teams that got left out, in my opinion, and I won't get into that just yet. That's for another show. Once we get down to the meat of
go ahead, speak.
No. Once we get down to the meat and teams start losing, I can be like, I knew it. I told you they shouldn't even been in there. I won't. That's when
he's got to let them prove his point first.
I got to let them because
I get it.
I don't want to have to
mouse syndrome.
Yeah, because it's kind of like right now they're talking about an NCAA. They're talking about turning the NCAA basketball tournament from 72 teams to 76 teams.
Is it 72?
Yeah, it's 72.
All those plans, I forgot.
No, the actual tournament.
I thought it was just 64 plus the play-ins. I thought it was 68.
No, it's 72 teams.
Where have I been? I thought it was 68. I left out 18.
I think they changed it to 72 in like what was it? The 2010s, I think it was.
2010.
Yeah.
You looking at me like I know it. I'm looking at you like I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
but
If you're looking for approval here, I'm sorry about it.
I'm surprised Alabama didn't make it.
Not
but I'm kinda
suggestively.
not, but it's just one of those teams that you're always hearing that's in the
Yeah.
playoffs, you know.
And 3 losses. They
Yeah.
have 3 losses this year, and that's the big thing. There's some teams that they felt like there was no way they were going to get in with 3 losses. But like for example, Clemson got in because they won their conference tournament.
Yeah.
But South Carolina with 3 losses, but they lost early. They didn't lose late, and they beat Clemson the last game of the season.
right.
And they were ranked higher than Clemson. But because Clemson got to play in their conference title, they get the bye because they got in and won.
Yeah.
And they beat SMU, and SMU is in here as a what? 13 seed. They played Penn State. And so that's 4 and 13, or was that 6? And then like I said, Boise State got a bye, and then Notre Dame and Indiana.
Why do I just not like that name? Like I don't like that team. I don't know.
Which one, Notre Dame?
Yeah. And why is it just a Kentucky thing? Is Kentucky just rooted to hate Notre Dame?
I don't
Is
know,
it just
it's-
like we're born with that in our blood or something?
Well,
why do I hate them? I don't
really.
even feel like I've
You
never
shouldn't,
seen them
because
play.
Most people in Kentucky is Irish. You know?
Oh,
Well, not this one.
right. In football, I will say in football, there are some people that like Notre Dame. I don't know a whole lot, but for me growing up, it was
you like
like
Notre
Notre Dame. It seems like
But-
they just.
I
You just, it was like the team that got all the love. Like
Yeah.
they had a contract with NBC back in the 70s, and they were always on TV.
Well, that and
didn't
also
know
especially in
that.
basketball, that if somehow we always faced Notre Dame in the tournament. Like it was
But-
always one of those teams that it was just. It's kind of like a tournament, one of our lesser tournament rivals, but they still end up being a tournament rival for us.
And see, Notre Dame is independent. They're not, well, in football, they're independent, which means they're not in the conference. So how are they able to get a football contract without being in a conference? Like when you see UK and Alabama and all those teams, that's the SEC with a contract with ESPN and ABC, not just one team. But Notre Dame, like, who the hell are y'all?
Yeah.
You know, why do y'all get to get a contract
Right.
by yourself? You know, and so that's where a lot of the bitterness for Notre Dame came from a lot of football fans. It's like, wow, damn, I don't want to watch Notre Dame this weekend. If I had a choice, to watch a college football game, I don't want to watch Notre Dame. I don't want to watch them, but they got a contract, so they was always on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting. In Indiana, they really have a lot to prove because their only loss was against Ohio State in their conference championship, and that was the argument that they weren't playing anybody. They were undefeated, but everybody they were facing, they were pretty much slaughtering. But they felt like there was even in their own conference.
That's what they say about Colorado and places like that. It's like nobody can be the SEC because the SEC, no matter what it is, college basketball or college football, it's the strongest conference out of all the conferences. The SEC it's where people want to be. I mean,
Yeah.
Texas and Oklahoma just moved to the SEC.
Yeah, and that's going to make it even stronger. I don't know if the SEC is the strongest in basketball. They're strong, but they're never cutting down the nets at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But now they've gotten to the point to where they can get 8 teams in.
What's
and
that
now,
mean? Cutting down nets.
The national championship.
Oh.
They all get the ladder and all the players get a piece of. You don't know nothing about basketball.
I think at this point he's just playing.
Yeah, I know.
He says they are cutting down nets.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, cutting down
I
nets.
know.
I
Like
think he's just playing.
we gonna bring you a college basketball glossary.
But when you explained it to me, I seen Tubby Smith cutting down a net.
Yeah, I've got a picture
I think
of them.
that's like
They'd
the
be
only
on the
image
net.
I've ever seen
No,
of
they
it.
do. The coach does cut down part
I
of it.
miss
but
Tubby
then-
Smith.
but
I don't
then-
know
The coach cuts the
But then they do like the starting 5 go up there and they each cut a piece off.
They cut a piece of the net. And
Okay.
each player gets a piece of the net for a souvenir.
Yeah.
And then after each player gets a piece of the net, they cut down the whole net.
Yeah.
To
And then they
take
put
to
it
bring
on
back
the
home
ball.
and put it on the ball or the trophy or whatever and put it in the trophy case. But But yeah, as a matter of fact, I actually have a UK T-shirt with a picture of a basketball net, and it says "Bring your own scissors." BYOS, bring your own scissors.
Okay.
Yeah, because we all about cutting down them nets. Well,
Yeah.
we was.
Well, and that's
trick that off.
and so now that we're getting into it, well,
UK.
we'll start off with UK. When we talk about the football, we gotta talk about Stoops, man. He's got to go, dude. I swear.
Man, he can go. He can
Yeah,
go.
he's got to go. He's got to
go.
go the same way Calipari. He's got to go, dude. Like
It's that bad.
Yeah.
Well,
he just.
Do you follow
the
the sport?
I don't,
Any
but
sports?
no.
Me either. I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but I couldn't tell you what they were doing in this season.
I mean, just from being in the peripheral of pretty much everybody, it's like I have a general idea of things that occur,
right.
you know, and like I mean, I was born and raised here, so it's like I know
Yeah.
things.
Right.
Right. You ever been to sporting like a football game or best like on the college level?
No, I have not.
Oh, we're gonna put that on your to-do list. We're gonna take care of that. You're gonna like, hey man, the Rupp Arena's got some of the greatest ice cream in America. They got an ice cream,
Get
a
drunk.
vanilla chocolate swirl.
Oh man,
You want to smack your mama? I'm telling
You
you.
know how much money you gotta have to get drunk at Rupp Arena?
Oh boy, you gotta
Get drunk before
you
you go.
gotta get
Have
that
a
in
couple
before
before
the
you go.
game.
Yeah. Just have one there.
yeah, and
As long as you get,
before,
like,
during, and after, I'm good.
I'll have a little flask.
So,
in my
so
inside.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, if we was to get y'all, and you included, if we was to get some tickets
I've been.
to a UK basketball game, would you go? If it was within your schedule, if you could fit it in.
We would have to take my lady. She would have to come with us.
She loves it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's
That's cool.
Yeah, she is.
She likes sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, she basketball.
Oh, she's a
yeah.
keeper. She's a keeper. She's a
That's
keeper.
a deal. We can do
She's
that.
a keeper. Okay.
I'll go.
All right, we're gonna work. Then we'll really have some. We could talk about
The whole entire
y'all's experience.
Yeah. I've been
Sis.
though.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna
I've
make
been
it
to
happen.
games. I've been to NFL football games. My
Did you
uncle.
watch it though?
I had no choice. Like I understand the sport, but just like certain things that y'all say, I'm not familiar with because I was
Right.
I've played them. Like I've been on teams. We never cut down a net.
Right. That means y'all wouldn't win us. That's
Don't-
all. This not your fault though. It's a team
Don't
sport.
yeah.
Hey man, I
Don't
never
come for
cut down
me.
any nets either, man.
They call me Sunshine. I was Team Spirit.
Okay. Hey.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Close.
Isn't that so
I've
ironic?
actually never cut down a net, but we got close.
Speaking of Sunshine, how's
What?
Kentucky looking in their sport, basketball?
Bruh.
A lot better than what people thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good.
That's good.
Like, I wasn't given no expectations from the get. I just knew that I was excited for it because it's something new.
Yeah.
And I was ready for the Mark Pope era.
Yeah.
It's something that Kentucky basketball needed. It's like you say, we was more interested in cutting down nets. Because that's the one thing he did when he came in the practice facility was he took all the players that Calipari took to the NBA. He took all their pictures down and just so that way you only see the banners
Facts.
that's hung up in there.
Oh, I didn't know he did that. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
So
As you should, because
But-
that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
If you're
So-
getting on this team to go there,
yeah, like I said, we're
Work for it.
8-1.
But
we was number 4. We was number 4, but we're number 5 now.
Yeah. And,
So
and it's different. It's different polls.
Yeah.
I was checking them. There's like 5 different polls.
yeah,
Like the AP at the Associated Press, ESPN has a poll of the rankings of the teams, and UK is like 5 in one poll, 4 in another poll. There was 6 in like
I think they're 5 in the AP poll.
yeah, and
So,
the CBS poll they might have been 6. There was like CBS has a poll, AP, ESPN. It's like and the coaches have a poll. They were 6 in the coaches
Yeah,
poll,
but it
which is
was-
the one I respect the most because they're coaches, so they know they know what's going on in the trenches. They can judge a team better than say the AP, the Associated Press, which are sports writers.
Yeah.
But when you
No.
see
Yeah, for real.
when you watch the game and you see the names on the scorecard and you see the number, that's the AP number.
okay.
Yeah,
So-
Associated Press,
Yeah.
sports writers, so-called experts.
But I mean, like I said, when we was talking about Clemson, yeah, I got a little sore spot because they gave us our first loss, which I'm not mad about it. I'm not. Not talking about getting rid of the coach or anything like some people have. I just think it was a good loss for him.
Oh,
and like I said,
UK's lost to Clemson?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was waiting for that loss because I want to see how they adapt, how they learn from it. So, and then they turn around and they beat Gonzaga in a very close game.
We were down by 18 in that game.
It just seems like they have problems with teams that press on defense.
And zones now. I see that zones they're trying to slow them down. Teams that are playing zones.
Yeah.
The three is not falling like it was early in the year, and
so they're gonna have to figure out a new way to score. So I mean, they have the ability, and they do have a good setup to do pick and rolls. Mm-hmm. But they also have to do zone too, which I do like. Mark Pope, he do run a couple of zone plays.
Yeah.
So unlike Calipari, who wouldn't run zone for the life of
Now
him.
you know what a zone is, right? Versus man-to-man defense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the difference between a zone and man-to-man is?
It's that you don't have just one man.
Guard
You actually
area. You guard an area.
you guard the entire area. So if somebody comes into your zone, you got them.
You
If
know
somebody
basketball.
leaves,
I knew you knew basketball.
I'm like, I still don't know what we're talking about.
I know something.
No, we got to take. We'll make it to a game.
Yeah.
Though. We just got to take. We just got to take it to a game. You're good.
It'll be a nice time.
But,
we gonna make sure of that.
Yeah.
The party don't start till I walk in, man. For real.
and then we had to win our last game because I swear we wasn't gonna get beat by no team that's named after toothpaste, but it was Colgate.
Yeah.
I
What?
was like, we can't get
Come
beat.
on, Colgate.
But the next game is a little game. And at the beginning of the season, me and my mom both said that there's 3 games that we can win, and then the rest of the season, whatever happens, happens.
That's who they play was Colgate.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we beat Duke. We got to beat Louisville, and then we got to beat Arkansas, and I'm cool. Whatever happens the rest of the season. I don't care.
Arkansas, Calipari's team that he's coaching now.
Yeah.
So and so let me add this real quick about what I like about Pope versus Calipari. The players, he's got experienced players more than Calipari did.
Yeah.
And even though Calipari would try to bring in, like for 1 year he brought in some transfer portal. He brought like some juniors, some more experienced players.
Yeah.
He couldn't mesh them together because he was relying heavily on his freshmen.
Yeah.
And so when it's getting crunch time, like being down by, because we seen what Calipari did against Gonzaga the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
We were getting smashed.
Yeah.
And we didn't have any fight in us. And then even if we kept it close, if we got close and it would look like that we were about to get over that hump and take the lead, we got a freshman making a freshman mistake or whatever. And you don't see that with Pope's team. The only thing you see is when we're making a run, we don't turn it over. We just not making the shot. But eventually, our defense is sustaining us to where that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about Pope.
I do think because against Gonzaga we had 7 turnovers, and I think against Clemson we had.
But I'm saying in the comeback stages.
In the comeback, but they do need to kind of handle the ball a little bit better.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, because they do have a problem with turnovers.
Yes.
But it's not bad. It's not like a Calipari team who would already had like 11 turnovers. So, and then...
Take your breath away.
I know, right? It don't make no sense.
Yeah.
But what I do like about Pope is I think that the players take more into him because he was a coach that was a player that actually won a championship for this team. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that means something different from somebody that's just a salesman. And
he plays his bench.
Yeah.
Imagine playing for Calipari and you just know you're not going to get in. You might get in if somebody gets in foul trouble. So you're not going to go out of your way to work on your game because you don't feel like you waste your time. But now with Pope, you're like, you know what? I'm going to get in that gym because I know he may call my number. And that makes a difference. For whatever time he needs, he doesn't care. Like there was one dude, Chandler, with the curly hair. He came in against Gonzaga and he had like 2 or 3 straight turnovers. Pope
Yeah.
left him in there. Going out there, I just need you to sustain us for about 5 minutes. I don't care. Just be careful. Just don't turn it over anymore. And he'd go down and turn it over again. It didn't matter though.
Yeah.
It didn't
But,
matter,
I mean,
man.
He is, but I mean, speaking of Chandler, like once he gets his bearings going, he's going to be a good player.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's
I
kind of
like
like Owe. I like Owe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a good offensive player. He can get push the ball up. Robinson's going to be a good backup. I like Butler. I like him as the point guard.
Yeah, but he's got, he was in that championship last year too, so he's got championship experience.
Yeah, so
His team didn't win it, but he was
the
there.
only person that I think that needs to like get in the weight room a little bit more is Williams.
Yeah, he needs a shot. He just he's a southpaw, so his shot is not.
Well, I was just reading something on the UK Twitter's page, well, X, formerly known Twitter. That he actually made his season high last night.
Phil Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, they did. They and that's the one thing. What Cha was talking about was how the fight that these cats have in them.
It's
And
really good. All of them are in their double points, as far as their
Double
highs.
figures.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're playing good.
Their rebounds
It's
are
just
eating.
Sometimes their turnovers they come over. They happen at the right point to where they start I think Colgate, they did end up winning by 11, but it was like one of the first times they was actually down by the half.
Is it number 4, Bray? I think he's got the most points. They call him the flamethrower.
Oh yeah,
Barea.
Yeah, he's got 17 points.
he can shoot the 3 really well. He led the
6
nation
out
in
of 12
3-point
field
shooting
goals,
percentage last year.
5 out of 8 3-point field goals, and 5 rebounds.
Yeah,
He's
that's
leading.
what people don't understand. We actually have a really good team.
Andrew, number 7, he's got 10 rebounds. Come on, E.
And then
But he's got
Carter,
11
he was
points
the one
too.
that dug us out of the hole on Gonzaga, and he came through on in the overtime.
19 points.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So
Okay.
Yeah, Barea, he came from Dayton. He played with the Dayton Flyers last year. He came through the transfer portal.
Ohio?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know, but he led the nation in 3-point shooting percentage last year.
Come on,
So
cousin.
he can drain them.
Yeah. So, like I said, I just think it's going to be a lot better once we get down that road. But this is, like I said, and I will continue to say, this is the first time I've been excited for Kentucky basketball in a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm ready to see what Pope takes it to the next level.
Yeah, no expectations this year. Everything now is a plus. We wasn't expected to beat. They was expecting Gonzaga and Duke to run us out of gym.
Yeah.
Did you know that when Pope got hired, he didn't have one single player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't have he didn't have one single player.
Because even the episodes that we did when Pope first came in, I was like, I'll have to get back to you on the player list because we ain't got it yet.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so it's good though. I'm actually pleasantly surprised on what they're able to do and how he's able to get them to come together like he has in a short period of time. And like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what he takes this program to in the coming years.
So I got a question for you because, is the 9-1, it says Kentucky's first 9-1 start since 2007,
9-1. That's what I said.
2017, 2018. What's that mean? They've typically been, lost more since? So this is a great start.
Yeah, so
Last
I
time we
love
went
the
started
coaches
9-1 was what, 2017?
It says 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
I think that was the year that they had Bam and Hero and all of them.
Oh,
the year that we almost had a perfect season.
No, that wasn't Bam. Bam was De'Aaron with De'Aaron Fox and Malik
that's
Monk
right.
now.
Yeah, I think, but that was the year with the Hero.
Oh, yeah.
All that.
No.
Carnegie Towns,
Because we went undefeated so it couldn't have been that team.
No.
We went undefeated.
We haven't gone since that team.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
that makes sense.
That's what's up.
But it's good, man. I mean, for the expectation levels that, nobody really knew what they were getting with Pope. I was okay. I just wanted a solid coach. I mean, he took a team, BYU, and took them in. They went into a whole different conference with Kansas and Baylor, and he beat both of them. And those are Kansas was the number one team this year to start the season. So they're always they're always legit.
And BYU, it was a Mormon-based school, so he had a lot of red tape he had to go through. Like, players had to
act a certain way, be
yeah.
a certain way, look a certain way. So it was hard to recruit, basically. What we're saying, it's hard to recruit.
And then so now he doesn't have any of those. Like, he can recruit whoever he wants, and they got
That's
to
what's
give him
up.
the reins. So
Let's do it.
yeah, I'm excited for it. So.
Yeah.
All right, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what unfolds.
I know the next
Fuck,
game
hear
is
about
Saturday
it.
with Louisville, so
Yeah, man.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
it's gonna be a really good game.
Y'all gonna hear about it next Thursday.
And it's a home game, so
All right.
I might go out to
Oh.
Now I know what
BW3's.
to expect.
But Buffalo Wild Wings or something. The game is at what, 5 o'clock? It's at 5.
Yeah, the game's at 5:15.
Yeah,
Of course it is.
Well, holla at me. Let me know. I might go
Right,
ahead.
right. It's getting off
Like
work.
all of Lexington,
I ain't even
all
made
of
it home
Lexington
yet.
just shut down.
Right, 5 o'clock traffic's gonna be a.
Yeah, well, that's why we trying to get there early. Come and join us if you're listening. We'll be at
Yes.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Come and support our podcast.
In the
Yeah,
building.
we'll be happy
Are
to
you
see
going to
you.
Buffalo
I
Wild
think I
Wings?
might.
Okay.
Come and see us.
All right.
Let's see.
Cha-Cha's always in the building.
So
And also, before we go to break, big shout out to, is it Kobe Brea? Is it what his name is?
Kobe Brea.
He's in the 1,000 point club now.
Who?
Yeah, Kobe Brea.
Oh, okay. Is he?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they put it on UK's X page.
Awesome.
Oh.
Yeah,
that was quick.
the more you know.
That's what happens when
You
you
said that was
connect.
quick.
I like
Yeah.
you're the one messing with
You make that
Twitter,
3
man.
minutes.
Yeah, that's why I'm so excited for this new rebranding, because there's new things in store for everybody. Just gonna happen. But when we come back, we're gonna dive deeper into some things that are. Is this local? This the next topic, or is it just country?
It's a little bit of both. We're talking
Alright.
about, if you're talking about the TikTok thing, then that's going to be on the federal side.
Yeah.
But we talk about the vape ban, that's going to be on state side, at least here regarding
Okay.
us in Kentucky.
All right. Well,
yeah,
we're
I'm
gonna get
interested
into
in that, yeah.
some bands that are coming up.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yep.
We'll be
Dance
back
to
in
make
just a
you
second.
dance.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We just got done hearing college football with Cha-Cha.
Yes, that was good.
And, then we touched on UK basketball.
Come on,
which
basketball.
It's going to be a good season. Good season. So,
I was surprised I knew as much as I didn't know that I knew.
yeah,
about it.
good job, man. Good job. Yes,
I'm
sir.
proud of myself, pat on my back, and I didn't know that Cha-Cha was going to talk about football, so
Yeah.
that was interesting too. I'm
And
excited.
then we gonna get into Louisville next episode. So
Ooh, yes.
that was
I can't wait.
That was a good game.
I can't wait. And then we started to talk about other things. So what are we going into?
We're gonna go into Omega Green talking about the vape bans.
Okay.
There was the
The TikTok man?
TikTok ban,
Yes.
and then we also talked about P Diddy. So
Oh yeah, PD and Jay-Z.
yeah.
And okay, period. So,
yeah.
let's get into it.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
do it.
Hey, there's cyberspace.
Hey.
Hey. It's Omega Green. I was talking to them, but now I'm talking to you. And right now,
You talking?
Yeah. Yeah.
we're talking bands. So,
Bands that make you dance?
the bands to make you dance, man. Or not, depending on who you are.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
But on,
The bands were never fun.
well, yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
But, so the TikTok ban, everybody's been talking about it.
Yes.
Everybody wants to know
Yes.
what's going on.
Yes.
On December 6th, a panel of federal judges upheld a law that could shut the app down by mid-January. The law requires a company to basically sell off its interests to an American company. You know, why do you ask? Mainly because of security concerns. That's what they say.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, they say consider the security concerns, but
I think it's for power,
Well, I mean,
control of the narrative.
it's because
well, I just think like, well, okay, you're going to sell it off to an American company.
It's the money that's being made off
you don't want China having sensitive information,
Yeah, but you don't
quote
want America
unquote.
to have it.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm like, who would you rather have be spying on you?
Right.
My mom, nah.
But you know,
I think that with it being American owned, it may be able to be regulated more as well. I don't think they can regulate it as much.
That's where power comes into play.
Yeah,
They want the power to be able to control the
Yeah.
narrative on the app, but it's also the money revenue that's going into it
Yes.
because now businesses are able to sell their merchandise on the app, so the app is getting a percentage on that on top
Yeah.
of the money that the people are paying to get the points to go to the live streams to buy gifts to give to people on the app. Like
Yeah.
all the money revenue that's coming through that app, America wants their share and they want to share the entire thing.
Yeah.
Give me that. Give me that.
And if you want interest in it, you can have 10%, but we get 90.
Wow.
yeah, that's definitely a
That's a vibe, though.
fucking boss move right there.
But it's crazy to me. That's insane.
Yeah,
That's the thought of my head. I don't know if that's actually how it's working.
So let me ask you: are there any like issues if it's not sold?
right. Well, I'm not sure exactly the exacts about it.
So
but
the issue's that if it's not sold, it'll be banned in the United States.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
This is like
Which
they're
will cut
banning
off
the
a lot
app.
of, like the TikTokers and all that.
Okay,
cut
so
all
I
them
thought,
off.
okay, that makes sense.
A whole lot of businesses that run, majority of small businesses that are selling merchandise are on TikTok.
Everybody,
Because they're
everybody
reaching.
does a thing. I mean,
I used
politicians
to-
did their campaigns off of TikTok.
Yeah.
Who's going to ban it? They do their campaigns off of it. You know, and a lot of people they do a lot of things off of TikTok.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of lost revenue.
Yeah.
Yes. So when is the deadline for it? The ban and stuff.
it'll be on January 19th, which
Ooh.
is actually the day before inauguration day, I think.
Yeah, it's January 20th, ain't it? Inauguration day.
No,
Yeah.
inauguration day. I thought it was.
Isn't this like last year? I mean,
Hey,
last
Siri.
presidency?
Yeah, no, I think it is.
When is inauguration
Was it
day?
six? Was it six?
2025.
Yeah, the 6th is when the electoral
they
college
certify.
votes. Yeah, they
Yeah,
certify.
they-
January
Yeah.
20th, 2025.
Okay,
January
so
6th
yeah.
is when they certify it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
it's the
Right
20th.
before Trump's president.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Well, I'm
Well-
interested to see what's going to happen,
Yeah.
because it's like, you're going to put the brakes on it all of a sudden? Is that possible if something, happens? Or
Well, it's gonna be hard for them to sell it because China's gonna shut it down. Like China's not gonna allow TikTok to be sold to America when it's their top selling app.
Yeah.
It's making them billions of dollars.
I think that America is going to be in a huge uproar. They're gonna storm a lot of the Capitol, Capitol buildings. A lot of picketing and things, because we're talking about people's money. We're talking about people's income. Some people have quit work for TikTok and
well, but that also begs the question too. It's like, what would emerge in its place? You know what I'm saying? If they're like, we're just going to shut it down. Well, it opens up the market, does it not?
Yeah.
To where other people will try to come along and emulate what they're doing.
Yeah.
Probably to no success, but
Well, I seen
you
that
never
TikTok try to buy a share. Well, they also bought out Lemonade, which I think is an American company.
Yeah. So
Or
think about it.
they bought Lemonade to where they can have that app funnel into TikTok. So if Americans have Lemonade, they can still see TikTok videos and vice versa.
Let me ask
Gotcha.
you a question. Who's the next president that's coming in?
Trump,
What billionaire that he got on his side right now?
Elon Musk,
What does Elon Musk owns?
stuff.
X.
X.
Yeah.
So you think X is going to turn into a TikTok?
That's what he's hoping.
Or he's trying to buy out TikTok so he can have
this
TikTok.
This is what Elon Musk was wanting. It was in that position. He can take out all his competitors all at once in the.
But
in the
TikTok's
electric
not
car,
really a
it is
competitor.
because right now everybody's on TikTok more than they are on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTok more than I'm on Twitter. I
I'm
don't
on
even have a
Twitter more than I'm on TikTok. Both sides.
So you got a lot of people that do more on TikTok
Yeah,
than they
that's
do on
true.
Twitter. You take away TikTok, they have no choice but to either go to
It'd be Facebook.
Facebook, Instagram, back to Twitter.
Yeah.
Instagram. It would be
Well, there's
Instagram
other stuff
because
too. Have you seen
Instagram.
the Blue Sky or whatever?
Nah, I
Like
haven't seen that
there's
one yet. I'm not really in social.
I'm on
media
Blue
like
Sky.
yeah, like
I
I've
just-
It's
I've
very
seen,
much
I've seen
TikTok.
people talk
I mean, it's
about
very
it.
much X.
But it's basically
Twitter.
that,
Exactly.
That's why
Yeah.
Elon's doing what he's doing right now because he can make a lot of big moves for him and his companies.
A lot of people leaving X though and going over to Blue Sky.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. You know, so if he can get
You
more
brought that
people
up
in
and
the
that was
door.
right. You're absolutely right about that one.
So
I forgot all about that.
Well, yeah, because I think
He's already a
I mean, I
billionaire,
know
too.
like
Yeah, he's
when they
got one.
debuted, a lot of people jumped ship and were like, "I'm just going to go here instead."
Yeah.
But I haven't been keeping up on it. I haven't even. I mean, right now I don't have an account or anything like that.
Like out of everybody that Trump has put in positions that they're putting in, Elon has the most powerful position in the U.S.
Well, we gonna get into that in a minute. In just a minute, we can't get too ahead
No,
of
we not,
ourselves
we not.
because we got a lot
Yeah.
to talk about, Mr. Trump. Here coming in just a
'cause
second.
We still got to talk about the
Bruh.
big band.
He just trying to wait your whistle. Yeah, the
Oh,
vape
yeah.
van. That's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
really came to
Yeah,
hear
I'm just trying to start the pot a little early
because
and we're
I-
gonna get into that.
Of
me
course.
being a former
Of
vapor
course.
myself, I'm interested in what's going on with that.
For real, what kind of vape do you?
I used to smoke the Elf Bar.
Oh, true.
That's what I
Gotcha.
used to smoke. Yeah,
See,
Yeah.
last time I had an Elf bar, it tastes burnt. Honestly,
that's because you were down to the very bottom of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it would be like as soon as I got
You
off
must
the
have got an
shelf.
old one. No,
Yeah,
because
no, I
they
know,
some of
that's
them
the-
come like
and
that.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't like about some vapes that they sit
Yeah.
there for a long time. So I'm trying.
I had the hookup though.
Yeah. So
Nice.
But it took over his segment like it ain't.
No
nothing.
offense, but they call themselves this. But I had the right Arab.
Right.
Oh,
That's the Arab store.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what he
looked
called.
out.
I'm the Arab. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't want to offend nobody, but
Right.
that's what he calls himself.
Right.
Okay, period.
It's like just
Yeah.
so you know.
Yeah,
Just so you know.
just so the world knows. Tell them to come to the Arab. I'm like, oh, okay.
I
On
will,
God.
I will tell them, sir.
Yeah.
So what's
What
going
about
on?
this van?
Yeah.
Well, I do believe it's called House Bill 11, but it's going to put a ban on all disposable flavored vapes that's not tobacco or menthol flavored. So, like people who run vape shops and everything like that, like from my understanding, you're not going to be able to get the juice over the counter, at least.
Yeah. So basically, they're doing what they did to Joel, just on a larger scale.
But the thing is that from what I hear, Juul is supposed to be what's coming back, and lots of people fucking hate the Juul. Like
Is that what you got? Oh God,
I've had
you love them.
I don't love them, but
Them is your sister cousin.
see, that's what I'm talking. Like,
I don't love them. I don't love them, but it's more convenient.
well, yeah, I'm just kind of like the way that I've been kind of understanding it is that you can't have a product on the market now after the first of the year that is not in those flavors and is not certified by the FDA.
Y'all better buy them up.
Yeah, because that's what they did with Joel. Because Joel, they came out with a new product with, but it's only released
What's
in
today-
the
what's
UK
today's date?
because they of the
12.
Joel ban they have here.
Gotcha. And now, see,
A couple of weeks
the thing
ago.
about it is
the first
that
day.
like from where they're in a position
Get it
with
in.
Philip Morris and
Better
all
buy 'em
that,
up.
like
Get it
they
in.
Yeah, they
more than they got.
they're owned by Newport now.
They're gonna be selling them for the Lolo now.
Yeah, so Joel's owned by the company that has
Okay.
that sells
Get money.
Oh, they got millions of dollars.
But yeah, exactly.
quadrillions of
I've
dollars.
literally had customers be like, "Man, if they're going to bring back the Juuls, then I'll just go back to smoking." And I'm like, "Man, that's what they want. That's what they all want."
That's what they really want. 'cause,
They get you with the pincer move, like
Yeah, 'cause
shitty vapes on
tobacco
one side
is
and
a
cigarettes on
dying-
the other.
Tobacco is a dying
Dying crop.
industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, so, and the reason why marijuana was illegal the first time was to make tobacco more popular.
Oh, they must bring some marijuana out.
So with these states like Colorado and stuff legalizing marijuana, you know, everybody's been getting off of cigarettes.
But the fact that they're banning the vape flavors.
Well, it operates under the guise of, obviously, like, y'all remember Joe Camel, right?
Yeah.
You know, and not just him, but other shit too, to where it was like, it was marketed in such a way to where it could potentially be appealing to children, which I know is very loose, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, yeah, like, I mean, if some marketing campaigns are like based on some shit, like making your shit like seem, I don't know, fun, kiddish, whatever you want to say, then I can understand the dangers that it poses to people, you know.
Well, and that's why they banned the Juuls, because it looked like a USB that the kids could have at school.
Right.
That's why they said they
Propaganda.
banned it. But I think
They
it
about
was
to bring them
I
back.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
But it does look like a USB.
Yeah.
But it just
It
don't
does.
taste good.
Yeah.
When
well,
I was smoking, those did
I
not
never
taste
was
good.
a vapor. I never was a vapor.
I-
I've tried it a couple of times.
I feel like that's kind of like, there's two sides of it. The side where they'd be like, you got to protect the kids, and I respect that. But I'm also like, the other side of it is, well, grown ass people who are now like off cigarettes that like to have options of just different flavors of whatever that as an adult they are entitled to have, you know, through the market. And they've gotten used to it as like, you're just going to basically just kick all those people in the nuts and be like, too bad.
Yeah, because
Now you gotta quit
look,
cold turkey.
take it from somebody who was an underage smoker. 'Cause,
Yeah.
when I was growing up, I was an underage smoker. I got them no matter
No,
what.
we don't want those kids to smoke no more, so they need to be
That's where I was
banned.
gonna go with that.
Like nobody, like
They don't need
it's
to be
one of those
smoking
things that
anyways.
It don't matter what you get rid of or what you don't. Kids are gonna.
They're gonna
They
find
want
it
it,
anyways,
they're gonna
right?
They're gonna get it.
Yes.
They're gonna find a way
yes,
to get it.
Yes.
That's true.
And I mean, vapes are you know you have to be a certain age, right?
Yeah, you gotta be 18.
Exactly. So
Thank you.
why do these companies have to waste their time trying not to entice the underage?
Because
These raisins taste
it's
good,
easier
don't
to
they?
do that.
Yeah.
To fix the real
Facts.
problem.
Okay, and I mean, and that may be true. So that goes more to your point, the flip side of it. Like, yeah, we don't want to appeal to kids, but they're underage. They shouldn't. Whoever's selling it to them shouldn't even be able to work there.
Yeah.
And whoever is going in buying it for them and giving it to them,
Right.
there's nothing you can do about
Yeah.
that except
Uh-uh.
catch them in
I
the
was
act.
17.
And so,
I was 17 years old, walking up to the.
Hell, their
to-
parents was buying it for
walking
me,
up to
though.
the-
I don't
to the
know,
corner
bro.
store to
I
get a
just
single.
honestly-
and that's my point. And that's my point. That's where it starts.
The whole thing that I find pretty ironic about the situation is that now you have to have an FDA approved device to suck your poison juice through.
Oh wow!
Right.
But and that's the thing too, because I mean, sometimes vapes get a misconception. It is a lot cleaner than cigarettes.
Oh, facts. Yeah.
Since I quit smoking cigarettes and I switched to vape, my lung capacity went from a 75 to 94.
Okay.
So it doesn't hurt your health as bad as cigarettes. But I'm not going to sit there and say it's completely healthy neither.
Well, of course,
Right.
like they say, harm reduction,
But if
and I
you're going to
respect
go
that.
down the nicotine road, I would much rather have a vape. Now, I don't like the ones that like big old cloud, big old thing, you know, the device in your hand and stuff like that does big old clouds. I think those can cause issues as far as like
Just
condensation.
hearing him
in
say
the
big
lungs.
old clouds it gets me.
Oh yeah, the,
Yeah.
Oh God.
no, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
But it's like
Murder
those,
she wrote.
Yeah.
Murder she wrote.
You just see the window crack down and go.
Oh, I know, right?
but those
Wow.
like you can even see because like some of them have like a glass mouthpiece.
Yeah.
You can see like when you hit those, like it builds condensation up.
Yeah.
So those big clouds, I think they do create like water pockets.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah.
create condensation in your lungs. Now,
And
like,
then you get
now
those
the-
commercials for the
but,
ladies are like
the
this.
disposable vapes, they don't do all
I know it's not funny, but y'all, it makes me cry to do it. It's not funny, God forbid. I quit smoking them, so
Yeah.
it still could happen. So let me stop.
But I think the disposable ones, the ones that don't create the big old clouds, I think those are the ones that like are a little bit more healthier than cigarettes.
But those are the ones that they're talking about disposing. And also,
Yes.
they're saying that are they saying that about just the ones that contain tobacco, or are they saying the ones about THC too?
Evidently, from my understanding, like all that stuff's all in the clear because it doesn't have anything to do with the nicotine side of stuff.
Okay, period.
But it's
Big tobacco, man.
yeah. I mean, for real, it would seem so. But I'm also kind of like, it makes you wonder what things are going to be like because same thing with the TikTok. It's like something would eventually have to emerge in its place. There's got to be some kind of
It's
competitor.
medical marijuana, and the marijuana is going to become legal, and then that'll be the new vice.
It remains
Eventually.
to be. It remains to be seen.
But they feel like the marijuana pens are becoming more popular than the vape pens in
Oh.
general.
I mean, they're convenient. No lie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and so like people are just subsidizing those as like the way to smoke
Well,
now.
and that's what I'm saying.
There's
That's why
cigarettes
they,
instead of
that's
the
why they
tobacco.
That's why they banned
Which would be,
marijuana.
it would be bad, but at the same time, would it be bad? Because now you're vaping THC instead of you're vaping tobacco.
Well, yeah,
THC doesn't harm you.
Yeah,
It's just
well-
the vaping aspect of it. It just messes with your lungs.
Yeah, and that's why marijuana was banned from the beginning because of big tobacco wanted
to make money.
to make money because everybody was smoking more weed than they was tobacco. And now since we'll just go ahead and say the marijuana prohibition.
It's bad.
And
Racists.
when they
Racism,
did that, it brought up because I mean it brought up
Y'all
tobacco.
gonna be crunching.
You know, so it was just one of those things that now everybody's legalizing marijuana, so now they're trying to say tobacco again. So that's why you got those senators that be like, "Oh, marijuana's bad." You shut up. You smoked a blunt before you walked in the building.
What you said?
So,
What you said?
but yeah.
So have you heard anything else on the marijuana bill?
They've had some lotteries, and
What does lottery mean?
well, obviously, lots of people want to get involved. So when you apply, there is a $10,000 non-refundable application fee.
Oh God!
So it doesn't matter if you get it or not. That $10,000 is gone.
It's not coming back.
Yep. And
Boy,
so there was a whole bunch
Russian roulette.
of people
Very much so.
got together and applied, and because they were overwhelmed with requests, they were like, well, here's how we'll do it. We'll just have a lottery, and then we'll guess randomly who's going to have these
Take
licenses.
your name from the hat.
Yeah, pretty much. And some fortunate individuals, I really, really hope that they're qualified to operate and know what they're doing, have managed to attain them. And they will be some of the first people that are operating into the immediate future. We don't have an infrastructure for any of this stuff yet.
No.
But in the next couple years, we'll kind of get a beat on supply and demand, how many dispensaries we're going to need. Because right now, I think they said there's only going to be maybe 2. I could be wrong, but I think
Dispensaries?
in Lexington.
That's fine. As long as they don't
and-
get shot up or robbed, we're good.
Well, it's all going to depend
They
on
should
where
have
you
just
put
made
them,
it be
of
the
course, but-
hospital.
You talking about a dispensary? The dispensary getting robbed? Those things will be high security.
Yeah.
They should have just
Yeah.
made them a part of build a unit onto the hospital
Well,
where there's already heavy security and just build more security around that.
they have their private security.
It's medical marijuana.
Yeah,
though.
they're supposed to. They're
the
supposed to
dispensaries won't
vet
all be
people
for medical
well,
necessary.
because when you apply for these things, they look
But it
over
would
your.
This is the law
business plan,
Legalize
your
it.
security.
Yeah, if they
You have to have an
legalize it,
entire
yeah.
roster of people that are already qualified to do these jobs. Basically, you gotta have everything lined up and ready to go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they won't even consider your shit.
Yeah.
Well, they're getting something started on the first because something goes into play back.
And this is the thing about Kentucky with it too, because I mean, we should have been the first states to do medical marijuana or
that would've
actually
been nice.
recreational marijuana. We should have been the first states because we could have made so much money off of it because we. This is the
And
thing.
he
I
was
said
running
about
red
Kentucky.
back in the 90s.
Like,
and he
Kentucky needs a cash crop.
eating them
We have the
down.
best soil
Go down
to grow
75 and turn off on one of these back roads, boy. There you go. Oh my goodness.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we have the best soil to grow.
Yeah, it's right
in
there.
Kentucky.
Right
Like
there.
you got clay and soil, and then when you go to Maysville, you got limestone. It's the best soil
One
to
day.
grow. So we should have been the first state, but now we're the last.
Connoisseur over here.
So
Limestone and clay. Who knew?
But watch everybody be like, oh my God, Kentucky's through their hat in the ring for the best marijuana. It's going to be off the chart.
so there was a magazine I used to read all the time. It was called High Times Magazine.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you remember the Cannabis Cup?
Yeah.
You know most of the Cannabis Cup winners came out of Kentucky.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
don't
wow.
get me started on that, who I used to
Look
be.
what you got started, Omega.
Boy,
But I mean,
at High Times, man, that was, boy,
That was-
some
that
of
was
the
a good
pictures in
magazine,
those
yeah.
magazines, like, that doesn't even, this looks like some AI stuff right
Yeah.
here, man. This can't be real. Man. Have you ever been to a dispensary?
I have. I went to one in Michigan.
Was it Detroit?
No.
I went to the one in Detroit. A few
No,
years
it
ago.
was in Buchanan, Michigan, I believe.
Buchanan.
It was called High Point.
This one in Detroit.
This is back when I smoked. I was certified to smoke. I am certified to smoke
Me too.
medically. So I did. This is before I have the job that I have
right,
now.
that's what I was gonna say.
I'm
certified.
This is
experienced.
before I have, like, I actually have, like, a doctor from UK
I
wrote
heard-
me a
No,
certificate.
I know exactly what you're talking
And
about.
before I got the job that I have now, I did go up to Buchanan, Michigan,
Right.
or Buchanan, Michigan, whatever's above in Illinois. No, above Indiana. And I got some edibles, and I got a couple of cards, and I got a couple of flowers. And I came back down here. I didn't really care for the flowers. They weren't as potent as I needed them to be.
Right.
The edibles were the best part. And let me not say the edibles were the best part, because the carts were really good. They lasted a really long time. But the edibles, they were just like, when you ate one, it just hit you. It didn't take no time, and you were just like instant relief,
Yeah, get your
or
stuff.
instant
Yeah.
hunger, or instant relaxation,
The
and it just
edibles-
like,
I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No.
I was daydreaming about
no, it was just like
About these edibles.
No, it's good. You
Had a
go for it.
flashback.
The
You
edibles, The edibles can be in your price range, you know, because that dispensary in Detroit that I went to, you know, you can want to experiment with something that you've never seen or had before. You know, they can tell you if it's the sativa or the hybrid
Yeah.
or the indica, because I mean they have this dispensary that I went to. You sat in the lobby and they came and got you and they walked you around. It was so professional.
Yeah, that's why I'm in favor of dispensaries, because like I mean, you get it off some people off the streets. They don't know what to have.
No,
You know what I mean? They don't know if they have a hybrid. They don't know if they have
No.
indica. And I can't have a hybrid. It messes with my anxiety.
But could you imagine how much trouble people are about to be in just based off of that being medically legal now?
Well, you got
And the type of people that are going to be, and the people that are going to obtain it more so now,
They'll be watching
and the
those
people that are
prescriptions, though.
getting the
Yeah,
prescriptions
I mean,
and then want to sell it to their people and then get more, and then they get caught up into the
see,
system,
that's the thing about
and then they
it.
start snitching on people. Like, it's going to be so ridiculous.
if you need it though, you're not going to really sell it because they're going to
Yeah.
monitor your prescription.
Yeah.
So you're going to
That's
have to
true.
be careful.
That's true.
If you choose, unless you just cool.
But you also got to be careful on who, if you are one of those people that are able to smoke it, because I don't believe I'm still able to smoke it because my job requires us to drug test. So the people that are able to like take it and have it in their homes, they got to be careful of who they tell that they have it to, because those people will rob them for it.
Yeah,
It's gonna be. That's why I say there's gonna be a lot more crime.
Like it is right now. Like even if your job drug tests for it, they may not even run a full panel drug test. Which if they don't run a full panel, THC ain't on.
I just wish they get to a point of one day they can.
If you have a prescription for it, they can't say nothing about it.
I mean,
So
they
as
could.
long as you're not high at work, which
They
I don't know
could
how
though,
they're gonna-
because they don't know how to test for it. I hope that one day they can get to the point of where they can test to see, like, at least have you smoked within 48 hours? How much is in your system now
They can-
to determine how much would be in your system when you smoked 48 hours
I'm sure the
ago?
police would love that as well.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're going to come out with it
Because it stays in your system for 30 days.
It's kind of like an alcohol meter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're eventually going to come out with that. It's just hard to do because
Yeah, it's hard to gauge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that if you're consistently messing up,
Oh yeah.
And
If
they
this
can,
is consistently
like,
you
it-
just are flubbing.
It's they're going to be like, okay, yeah, you're
And companies aren't really testing for marijuana like they used to, like for entry. I mean, to get hired.
Yeah.
You know, but if you get hired and you
Just
drive a
messing up
forklift, you wrecking the warehouse, and you're gonna drop.
We
some
need you to
urine.
go drop it,
You gotta
yeah.
make it happen. But
In a
they're
heartbeat.
not really testing for marijuana anymore.
Yeah.
Because they it's because it's becoming legalized.
But I
It's so
wonder how
common
that
now.
I wonder how that fight would work too if somebody was to be prescribed it and then they worked for a job that didn't allow it and then they got fired from their job because they smoked it.
Well,
I
they
would hate
can-
to see
That's
that
an
type
HR
of
thing right
Yeah.
there.
yeah. I would hate to
That-
see that happen.
That's gonna be a
And it'll
But
be
that's-
even worse if it's from the company that you work at.
But that's the thing, though. Like, if you do something to where they have to drug test you,
Then that's a whole other story.
They can tell your levels and
Yeah.
how recently and how much you smoke.
They should be able to.
So
But
Do you think that and I'll say this before we move on. Do you think that the doctor that prescribes prescribes like medical marijuana, that he would have you check with your employer first to make sure that would they have to add
necessarily.
that in as a stipulation to you might want to check with your employer because they don't
No,
have to
because-
prescribe marijuana for pain.
they're not prescribing it to they would not be prescribing it to you based up on whether you have a job that allows it or not. They're prescribing it to you based on a lifestyle need.
Right.
So
Right.
they don't know. They really don't care. The only people that care what job you have is the insurance company.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So they wouldn't like let you know. They wouldn't say to you, I can prescribe this to you, but
Make sure your job
Yes,
allows you to.
yes.
No,
Well-
because they still want you to have the prescription and not have to come back and
yeah, 'cause
ask
I mean,
them
it's
again
like,
for it.
but it's also like I said, like because they test for like like prescription pills.
Yeah.
But if you have a prescription for it, you're not going to get in trouble. As long as you can provide the prescription and it's up to date, I don't think you'll get in trouble for it unless you're messing up on a job or you get hurt on the job.
Prescription
and
drugs
you're
is
high.
legal.
Yeah,
Prescription
but there's also a list of
pills
needs.
are legal anyway, though.
There's also a list of needs that they say that you have to meet in order to be able to
Yeah, like you
have it.
Like this.
Private
like,
companies are definitely going to have their own leeway, I'm sure,
Yeah.
to be able to, because that's my understanding, just like with the medical cannabis law in general, municipalities were given the opportunity to opt out, and I don't think any of them did.
No,
So they were all like, yep, let's do it.
okay. That's what's up.
Wow. So
Shout out
to-
to medical marijuana.
Shout out to
Hey,
it.
facts. Long time
I know
coming.
somebody that I know probably wish they had it right now and need a little more of it. And need a little more of it.
Yeah, Mo.
Somebody that just wish they could smoke it for the rest of their lives. You know who that person is?
it used to be me.
Well, right now,
but I don't do it like I
somebody
used to
that
all the
wants to
time.
be out of body experience right now, P. Diddy.
Oh yeah.
Something else that popped up about
Yeah,
this
he
man.
needs a relaxer,
It just,
mental relaxer.
it's never ending. And they even dragging Jay-Z into it now.
Don't say Dragon Jay-Z. He put himself. We all talking about Dragon Jay-Z
see.
into it. You know they were running ever since the commission.
I don't want to
now.
hear it.
I don't know.
I don't
Come
want to
on, man.
I
hurry.
don't know.
Because they knew that if they brought up the commission, then Big would have got all the attention, and it would put him and it would put Jay-Z and Diddy not as high as list on them.
Well, since you stole
That's a conspiracy
bugaboo
theory.
about Jay-Z, let me start with Jay-Z and him being accused of the R word, which I don't want to say the full word because I don't know how this broadcast will be transitioning into the next place of origin. But it's a lawsuit that's been refiled and renamed Jay-Z as the second suspect. So this victim, who alleged to be 13 years old when this occurred, alleged that it occurred in 2000 after an MTV Video Music Award at an after party. The victim states that she was picked up by a car who said she fit what Diddy was looking for. And according to the lawsuit that was filed in civil court, which means that this was monetary, like if it was like something that was really serious, it would have been circuit court criminal.
Yeah.
She would have want this person in prison. Like, just let me help you make it make sense. I worked in criminal and civil. I gave small claims, civil claims, and I did criminal cases, baby.
Right.
And I've sat in court on all three. If you do it civilly, that means you want to try to make it go away with the monetary notion. And if you do it criminal, that means you want them to pay, whether it's in prison or on probation or on a list. But according to the lawsuit she filed, she went to lay down because she was woozy after a drink was given to her and she drank it at the party. She said shortly after, Diddy and two of his friends, which were celebrities, entered the room, and she presented the mail as Jay-Z this time. Mind you, this is the second time she filed. The first time it went away and she filed it again. The first time she filed it, she didn't know who the mail was. So that's why I said they're dragging Jay-Z into it. We don't know if she's just bringing it up or if it was literally Jay-Z. I'm not putting it out of the question. If the man did it, the man did it. And if the woman that was in question was Beyonce, then girl, shame on her too. But her music has been sick. I will give her that. I like her music, but I hate her as a person. But her,
If it's true.
if it's true, I still love her music. I'm never going to give you that. Her music.
You're saying your head as a person if it's true?
Yeah, if it's true, like I can't rock with you as a person.
Right.
I'm never gonna buy your music. I've never really purchased your music. I've been given your album, but I've never purchased your music. I've listened to every song,
Same way with
Well,
R.
that's
Kelly.
that's the beautiful thing about streaming nowadays.
and I will still listen. And I've still listened to R. Kelly music. It's
I
not
never
on the
liked it.
radio.
You know what? That's the funny thing. I can tell people this and stand on it. I've never liked R. Kelly's music, so
Like there's a
he's not
couple
on
of
my
songs
playlist.
that
I
I'm
have
like,
nothing to do
okay.
with his criminal record right now.
Yeah.
I can't stand this.
But
Give me that honey love.
so in this allegation in the suit, allegedly, Diddy entered the room a short time later with two other celebrities, one of them being a male, Jay-Z, and one being a female. Allegedly, Jay-Z held the victim down and arred her while Diddy and the female watched. And then after Jay-Z was finished, Diddy arred her while Jay-Z and the female watched. This was brought to me and sourced by NBC News via X, formerly known as Twitter. So
She was 13 at the time?
she was 13 at the time.
How did she get out of the house?
My thing
How did
is,
she come up missing at 13?
yeah.
She was just out there. Car
Why
rolled
was
up,
she
was
at
like,
a
hey,
party,
Diddy
an
wants to hang
after
out. Want to hang out
party?
with Diddy? And she's like, okay.
Of an MTV
13?
Music Award with a 13 at 13 years old, and who was she there with?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Where were
Exactly.
they
I need to
when a 13-year-old went missing?
We need to find that first trial and bring that to the light.
Yes.
In the next cast. We might have to continue this because I want to hear some of the things that went on in that first trial.
I'm definitely going to keep us posted on what's going on
I
here.
need some details. 'Cause
Well, since I brought Diddy into it, there's some stuff that's been going on with Diddy too.
oh yeah, you know it. He's a wanted man.
Yeah, there's some things that's been going on with Diddy too. Diddy has new lawsuits, and these aren't just your normal lawsuits, I'm telling you. First, let me start off by saying that the judge denied his bail again today, which today is Thursday, the 12th. We filmed this on Thursday and it's posted on Monday, so y'all will be hearing this on Monday, but it's already happened. Denied his bail again for the third time. Reporters say that he was in court smiling. His kids were there besides the little infant child. And he did look thinner, but he was very upbeat. So, like, he did look like he had lost a little weight, but he still looked in good...
for the people. He can't come out there looking
right.
like
he still looked in good spirits.
This is wearing me down. You can't come out like that.
Yeah.
So both sides of the case were inquired to write a letter to the judge prior to the bail being heard, pretty much pleading their case about why they should or why they shouldn't give him bail or not. And eventually it just like he lost it. And the judge turned against him. And then 3 men accused Diddy of R and SA this week. This week, so this past week, coming Monday, in separate lawsuits alleging that they had doctored drinks and were attacked while they were unconscious by Diddy.
These civil suits?
Yes.
Criminal? Okay.
Yes.
So they have to be civil.
They were filed anonymously in New York City Supreme Court. Which that was interesting to me because they were filed in Supreme Court and it seems like they were going after a monetary value, but they filed them in Supreme Court with a lawyer. So it's like they're going for, because he's already in prison on that type of charge, they have to go for the Supreme Court now instead of just filing it in their area. Yeah. Plus this happened in New York City. So
yeah, well, they're still building the RICO case on.
Yeah, that was the thing that I was questioning because this other case that was with Jay-Z, which I'm assuming is because he's hasn't in anywhere.
If it goes through the Supreme Court, right, and they win in the Supreme Court, then they can bring it down to the RICO case.
Okay, got
that's
you.
Another thing they can add to the RICO case because it's not a case until they win.
Got you. So these 3 men that accused Diddy of those things filed anonymously in New York Supreme Court, and it had allegedly been taking place in 2019 through 2022. And one of them was actually one of his longtime employees, allegedly, of Diddy's, said that he worked with Diddy from 2006 all the way to 2018, and alleges that Combs drugged and R'd him in a New York hotel where he met Diddy to discuss a substantial amount of money. That kills me when they say a substantial amount of money. Like, what was that? What was that whole discussion? Because that money was... There had to be like, what you gonna give me for this money? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the kind of vibes. If I'm getting the vibes that I'm getting from Diddy.
I ain't meeting with you at a hotel.
Yeah.
I'm meeting with you out somewhere.
And this was in an interview, and he stated that Diddy...
Starbucks with plenty of Wi-Fi.
That he kind of came to when everything was going on, and he turned and told Diddy to stop, and Diddy was like, I'm almost done. You know?
Take that.
Man.
But let's not laugh. Let's not laugh because he said that is the part of the entire thing that still scars him to this day. Like, he still has nightmares about that moment.
It's going to be something scarring when. So I'm pretty sure that's where he keeps.
If it really happened.
Facts. Like, there's that sympathy, but at the same time, it's like, is this the bum on the street that's telling me that he needs $2, but is about to walk over to a Bentley?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Sound like Diddy.
It do. Like, come on, 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
But he was.
So
Diddy's did a lot. He's
yes.
Diddy did a lot.
Like, these cases are severe.
Diddy did a lot.
He's
like,
gonna be the next Batman villain, the Diddler.
So also, in other news, as far as criminally, they did capture who they believe is to be the assassin of the United Healthcare CEO. What was his name?
Luigi Mangione?
Mangione.
Yeah, so he was arrested on a fires charge at a McDonald's in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania. He had like a ghost gun is what they're calling it. It was a 3D printed gun with a suppressor is what I'm getting, is what they gave me.
Was the suppressor 3D printed?
Yeah,
Yes.
everything was 3D
Wow.
printed. About
Yes.
it was
Wow.
like it was.
Ain't that wild?
What a day we live in.
Facts. Said he had a fake ID that was believed to be used by the suspect in New York City. 2-page letter railing against the healthcare industry. A mask marking the suspect. So it was the mask that the suspect had on in the videos that they seen. And he had a written manifest that he was acting alone and seemed to that he wanted to be caught. So he was doing things like he wanted to be caught. He left a water bottle at this place. He left something else somewhere else.
Yeah,
like he was doing different
He
things.
took his inspiration off of, right?
No.
The Unabomber.
Oh, but he actually wanted to be caught. So
Yeah.
my assumption is like there's more people at work than just him. Like he was just the person that was picked to do the demonstration this time. But that was coming to me live from CNN. And so I was listening. There was a significance about a number that was like 2146 or 2148 or something like that this lady was using. And it's like he fled to Pennsylvania, which was this certain amount of feet away from where he did this. But this is also the same number that goes with this. This also the same number that goes with this. So if you're like a theorist, look into that, because I would just type in lady speaks on United Healthcare assassin.
Numerology.
Yeah, like numerology type thing, because she said all those numbers are somewhere.
Well,
it was
you look hard
interesting.
enough at anything. Numbers are everywhere.
Yeah, it was
You know.
interesting. And I got that from CNN Live on YouTube. I'm full of things today with popular culture. Are y'all ready for Trump?
Well, so the thing is about that is now that the owner of the McDonald's, the manager of the McDonald's, he is getting so much flack because the guy's being looked at
Yes.
As a snitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Burger King.
They say-
Somebody told me that Burger King
Yeah.
posted something online and said we don't snitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
Ain't that crazy?
the most hated snitch other than Tekashi 6ix9ine.
They said so many people. They said so many people saw him and didn't say anything because they were kind of like, "Hoorah for him!" And I'm kind of like,
But
"Wow."
that's crazy.
Because, well, I mean,
He's just the CEO. He's just the money that the people are getting. Like, he's not the one that's in control of what's going
it's the
on.
statement of it. It's not who it was. It was a statement of it.
He's the CEO. That's the head.
We're cutting off your head.
Yeah. That was the statement of it.
But-
The money's just going to go to somebody else who's going to funnel it back in there so they can make
Well,
that
they're
money.
not giving it to anybody. That's what say they deny. And see, and that's the thing with Luigi. He apparently they were denying some claim or denying claims or authorizations, but he comes from money.
Man.
Did you know that he comes from money? His parents have money. He's not poor.
Yeah, I've seen that. And he's
So-
not a bad-looking guy. He's
So
not
his
like
insurance-
a computer nerd or
His
something like
insurance,
that.
whether his insurance paid or not, he was going to be taken care of. But
Because if you look at the people that were attemptedly assassinating Trump, like that guy looked like a computer nerd, like nobody's business. You know what I'm saying?
But
This boy actually looked like he was like of sound in mind.
The thing was I want to know who he's working with because he knew the exact moment he was getting
Facts.
out of there. He knew when to hit.
Facts.
Like, it looked
How did he
like
get that
Well,
3D printed gun?
He had been.
Like, let's be
He
real.
printed it.
He had been staking the place because they had pictures from
Yeah.
different days of him at the spot, different areas there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he did his homework on it, but how did he
Fire.
know what time he
Fire.
How did he know when he was walking down there? At
I didn't
that
know
specific-
exactly who.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it was one of
Can
those
you-
like he had some
can
inside
you
work.
go on the website and find who the name
No,
of the
you can
CEO?
find out. So the thing about United Healthcare is it's a pirate. It's a
put that shit
it's a public
everywhere.
company.
Facts.
So they can post when meetings are, where meetings are, but they can't. But how would he know when he was walking out that
Right,
building? Because he
right,
could have stayed in the
Right.
building.
No,
a lot
I'm
longer.
just saying who the CEO is. You
Yeah.
can go on there.
You can go on there and see who the
Google,
CEO
and get his face, and
But-
get a picture of him.
But who?
Find out where headquarters is.
Yeah, but how did he know? Because he walked up at the right moment to shoot him in the back. Like you could see him.
And
he
the gun
pulled up.
jammed.
Yeah, he pulled up right
Yeah.
at that moment.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Rookie.
So y'all sound like y'all into like police investigation and all that, like
A little bit.
those
Yeah, a little
detective
bit,
like type
yeah.
of shows. So if y'all don't know, there's an upcoming event coming to Lexington. Okay, it is called the Dinner Detective Comedy Mystery Dinner Show.
Oh,
It's at
okay.
the
Gotcha.
Hilton Lexington, so it's downtown Lexington.
What is
It's
that?
it's an interactive game. It's a like a dinner show, so you're eating, like you get great food. So it's like fun for the family. It's you solving a mystery while you're eating dinner.
Okay.
The characters,
Something I wouldn't want to do.
yeah, the characters are not dressed, and they are not in costume, so they're hidden in the audience. They look like
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Like you're talking to these
They
people,
could
you
be
get
right
to know these
beside you,
people.
right beside you
Yes,
at the
Yeah.
next table.
and
Wow.
it's going on from December 7th through the 21st. So it's every Saturday from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can get your tickets at thedinnerdetective.com.
And he's gonna post these links in the comments.
Yes,
Not in the comments, but in the
in the comments. Yeah,
Okay, in the-
periods. If I post it in the title, they won't be able to click on it. But I'm going to try to post the link in the comments. Yeah, so that's what's going on with...
Yeah, because it's something like my old Kentucky Train, they hold murder mystery dinner.
Yes, and I was trying to check to see where that was, but there was like something you couldn't get on the website. There was like something holding you out. It gave me the 401 page.
Oh yeah,
401.
but you have to go into the days, and that. See, the thing about that is it books up really fast. So
It's
like,
probably booked.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you have to book the old Kentucky Train. You have to book at like months in advance for certain things, and the
Alright.
murder mystery is one of those things. And like, because I do a Polar Express ride that sells out really quick. And really, about the only thing that they actually keep in stock is bourbon excursions.
Okay.
So-
Well, you want me to tell you what I need? I need an excursion.
Yeah, well, the bourbon one you do the dinner train, and then they have like a bourbon tasting.
Is there a train with bourbon tasting that takes me to London, England? Or to Canada?
How you gonna get to a train?
Under seas, underwater. You know that London,
No,
England's got
see.
an underwater train that takes you to France?
Wow.
Because I was on it for 3 hours.
Well, yeah, but
There
can't-
and back.
You can't take a train from the
It was
U.S.
underwater?
Underwater. In a tunnel.
You can't take a train from the U.S. to Europe.
I hope they're...
Because-
Well, I don't care. I'm
because
taking a
no,
plane.
eventually-
Not with that attitude, man.
Mark Zuckerberg's Met donation $1 million to Trump inauguration fund. That is insane to me, y'all.
They love him.
Yeah.
Love him.
They're eating him up.
Well, you know what they're doing now? They're trying to make sure they don't get canceled.
Yeah, facts.
Because, like I said, it's
Just throw money at it.
They're into jail.
so
There's so much stuff that's going on in the campaign. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't even mean to throw that out there, but
yeah, you just gonna cut me
Let's
off
get
what
it.
I was saying.
what was you saying? But after you get done,
But no, so what it was the pressure, underwater pressure. You cannot build a train going from the U.S. to Europe. You can't.
I need it. I don't care though. I'll take a plane. I don't care. I love being in the air. I need to get away from this once it hits the fan though. So the one man that everyone's talking
Wait a minute.
about.
Did I say Jeff Bezos?
Yeah,
killed?
he's about to donate $1 million. Amazon
Oh,
is about to donate.
I just read the first 3 words that Jeff Bezos killed. I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Look.
Amazon to donate $1 million to Trump's inaugural fund. So that they like you said, they're trying to keep him getting canceled.
We can't help but to see what's coming on, and this is the next topic: Trump.
Yeah.
Like, Trump has been named Person of the Year by Time Magazine. He was named it twice, but the first time was a fake, apparently. It was actually, what's her name? The lady that played Rose.
Oh, they said her name.
Rose. She's got the same Kirsten. Is it Kirsten?
No.
It showed,
No.
it showed her face too.
No.
Who
Damn,
it was,
I can't
who
remember.
actually
Yeah,
it was.
the lady that played Rose was actually the one that was on the cover of Time Magazine the year that he thought he made everybody believe that he was.
Oh yeah.
So he had a meeting, the Meet the Press interview, and it was so long. I'm telling you, I probably
Right.
fell asleep, but I did get the first 5 topics. I do want to go back and watch the rest and bring y'all more news on the rest, but the first 5 topics is enough. So the first topic that he brought up was border security, which we knew that was going to happen. We knew that he was going to talk about border security, but he also said this, and he said to show them we mean business. And y'all know how he sounds when he says that. But what does that mean? Who are you saying show them, sir?
Everybody.
You know, even though he didn't do nothing the first time he was in office.
No.
On God. The second topic that he's talking about, and I even wrote these questions on here, is the Trump tax cuts. And I'm like, what is this? Tax cuts for his buddies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing, though. When you say the first time, he didn't have absolute power the first time. Now he has absolute power with the House, the Senate,
Facts.
and the presidency.
Yeah, and I've seen somebody say that too.
Yeah,
Didn't he though? Because I mean, in the very beginning, that's how they got the first round of tax cuts through.
Well, but they lost it in the second term.
Yeah, they did.
In the second.
Biden's.
No,
I mean
in the midterms.
Yeah.
So they have another vote in the midterms.
Yeah, so they have the big election, and then in 2 years they have another election.
Yeah.
Facts.
So they have to keep everything, and that's what the Republicans saying that Trump messed up because he was trying to do everything. He was trying to do more than what they were planning in the first 2 years. And they ended up losing it. I think it was the House or the Senate. They ended up losing it to the Democrats.
Man, those were some good topics.
Yeah,
That was a great conversation.
That was a lot of fun episode.
That was a fun episode. Oh my gosh. And I can't wait for that, like that excitement and that kind of chemistry to continue. I did hear that we was like cutting each other off left and right, so hopefully we get that together. Because I was really trying to listen to what everybody was saying, though. We was all saying something juicy.
Once the chemistry gets there, we
We were just so excited this episode. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed listening to Mix in Chat. I'm your boy Javi, here with my boy D-Lo.
Yo.
Cha-Cha and Omega Green will be back soon, so y'all stay tuned. But until then, y'all have a good night.
Peace.